Hey, what's up, everybody? You guys know who this is. This is DJ Rick, the founder and owner of National Sex Day, June 9th, 6 month, ninth day, holiday 69. We are the only, and I mean the only, sex holiday on record on the planet. We talk about everything from STD prevention to men who've had ED problems to women who've never had orgasms before. We have sex coaches, sex counselors, and all the things that go along with pretty much every aspect of sex, but we can't rule out adult entertainment. We just have to put that, of course, into the equation. And with that all being said, we bring those people on, we talk about it, have fun with it, educate people. Stick around, you're going to learn something, okay? On top of that, I got some of the hottest chicks that I talk to. And you know what? They're going to give you their links so you can follow them and see what they're up to. With that all being said, I got to tip the hat to Her Royal Highness because she is on my program today, y'all. This is Miss EB. How you doing?
Hi, how are you? I'm good.
I'm doing great. When royalty comes in like this, can I be your knight in shining armor?
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's things you're going to have to do, but you know.
That's all right. There's a lot of things I'd like to do. In fact, you'd be the first one I'd like to sample my sword.
I get, yeah.
Hey, after all, this is National Sex Day. Okay, we can't get away from certain things. We won't talk about it, but we'll leave it just right there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, well, first and foremost, again, welcome. I'm glad you're here. You're in the Chicago area, if I can say that,
I
or
am.
say that. I'm in the DFW area where it's always hot as all get out, but I'm a cold weather person, so I may have to come and visit you in Illinois one day. Okay.
Please do. Yeah. I mean, I lived in DFW for about 3 years and I spent my summers back here because it was too hot. It was just too hot.
Yeah, by the end of this week, it's going to be in the 90s, which pretty much means that summer's here. So it's just
Yeah.
it's not gonna end. It's gonna be relentless. For those out there checking out the program, it's hot in the South, and she knows that she's been here for a while. But now that she's up north, she's melting those ice glaciers because she is as hot as it comes. So watch out, heat wave coming in Chicago this summer, and we have silence.
In silence. Yeah. Well, I don't know what to say. Like, yeah, it's gonna be hot. But I'm near the lake shore, and we always say it's like it's cooler by the lake. So
I tell you what, I got to check that out. Don't worry, we'll make travel plans after this episode is over. Now, moving on here, you got to tell everybody if you would like to share, and I'm pretty sure that you will. What got you into the adult industry? Everybody's got a story, and I'll never quit asking that question because everybody's journey is a little different, and some are kind of parallel. But what got you to do what you do?
oh my gosh. So I so for yeah, I'm currently 7 years sober. When I
Congratulations!
first went, thank you. When I first went into detox, my first detox, I met this girl and I thought she was really hot and really, and when you're in detox, it's a great place to like meet people that you're like that a solid place to like hook up.
Sure.
Um, but I was like, oh man, this she's hot, and she was like, you should get it, you should get into, I'm a stripper, you should be a stripper too. And I'm like, I can't be a stripper. I'm like, I'm in my late 30s, I've had two C-sections. I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm like, my stripping days, they missed me. And she was like insisting, and then she told me like, that I could go into full service. And I was like, I told you, like, I'm too old. And she's like, well, my mom did it. And I was like, wait a second. And since I was like detoxing and like
Wow.
trying to like, pick up girls in detox, I was like, all right, well, tell me more about it. And like I got home and I like researched and I decided to go ahead and do it. And
Okay.
yeah, and so that was, and I never talked to her again after I got out of the hospital. Like I never talked to her again, and like, but I got into the industry. So that's the
Okay.
story.
Okay. And again, everybody's got their journey.
It was
You
based on all kinds of very, very good decision making, you know,
know.
processes.
someone gave you the key and you turned it. That's all it was to it. And everybody, again, has a different path. And it's cool to see how people say, well, I did this, but my story is different from yours. Or, someone referred it to you in a hospital. That's never been said on this program before. But I mean, it's cool because it happens. People will say, try this, like me being a radio DJ. I never dreamed I'd be a radio DJ. I never wanted it. And someone said, here you go. And here I am. So I see where that's coming from. So let me ask you this. Was the first time, because that first production, that's when you're going to break the ice. What was that like? Was it awkward? Was it different? How did it go for you?
Um, oh God, I didn't know what I mean, like I didn't know what I was doing, and I didn't know like how to ask for money or like how to tell them like how to know when time was up. Like it was and I also hadn't yet figured out that like I was allowed to fake an orgasm. So he was like, you can't leave until you have an orgasm. And I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? And like he was like relentless and like and I'm just like he's like you can't fake it. I was like okay, I'm not gonna fake it. I'm gonna do it. Like we're gonna yeah, of course I would never fake an orgasm. Like that would just be that. Who does that? And
yeah, who does that in production? Who fakes an orgasm out there? The orgasm police are gonna find you for that. Okay.
yeah, so this was yeah, so I was yeah, so that was I learned a lot since then. I've come a long way.
There you go. And there's a lot of things that people, when they say this is fake, that is fake, it's an act. This is a production. Actors will act. There are things behind the scene that some people don't want you to know, or there's things behind the scene we figure out as we watch it. But at the end result, at the end of the day, you completed that. And if it needed to be enhanced or whatever, people do it. It's an act. The only difference between X-rated and R-rated, I remind people all the time, is penetration. That's the only difference of an X-rated and R-rated movie is penetration. So actors there, actors here. So, it kind of happens that way. So if after you did this first one, because some people say, well, I feel guilty, I felt bad, I felt dirty, because it's on camera, there's strangers, there's a crew most of the time. It's a production. Most people don't do productions of any kind. We're in a business, vanilla or adult, that 90% of people don't do. They punch the clock, go home kind of thing. People there. Looks matter. You put on an outfit. You do what you do. Everybody's coaching you, telling you what to do. And after it's done, how does that make most people feel for the first time?
Well, I mean, I didn't start in film. I started in like full service work. So I was doing like in-person work,
Okay.
the illegal stuff. And so I mean, it wasn't I was I wasn't like super precious about like who I slept with and like I was like it's fine, like I've slept with a lot of gross dudes, like whatever, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
And I was actually married at the time and my husband was like on board with it, and so it was like I was actually kind of like cool, I made money, that I'm making money.
Yeah. And
I mean, I wasn't like especially like proud of it or ashamed of it. It was just like, all right, cool. I went in, I did my job, and I made some money, and now I'm going home. And
there you go.
That was boss, because I made like a lot of money.
Yeah, and the money's coming, and you're doing what you're doing, and sometimes you're with people you're not attracted to, or you might like, or you're kind of right there in the middle. And that's another question I throw to a lot of people, is that you are with somebody that you have to at least look like you're having fun, and they might pair you up with somebody and say, you do this with this person. So do you have a preference as far as you walk into a studio and they say, well, what would you like to do versus what we'd like for you to do? Because I know there's some people who look unhappy on camera. They're doing it for the money. Yes. They're doing it because it is that job. Yes. But they may not like that person, male or female, because we all have a preference. We do. So when you're paired with somebody that's not really what you would be attracted to normally, how would you handle that?
I mean, I guess like for me, it's there is no question about like whether I'm attracted to them or not. Like when I'm with somebody, like my job is to be attracted to them, and like there is some there, and I'm this is kind of like mushy or whatever, but like I think there's something absolutely beautiful about every single person. There's something lovable, and there's something worthy, and there's something that is intrinsically attractive about every single person on earth. And, you know, it's up to me to just like find that spot and just like be there. And, you know, I just have, you know, it's not like I have to be there forever and ever and ever. I don't have to fall in love with them. I don't have to like, you know, I just have to like find something that I find attractive about them and, you know, be there. And I don't have to think about it very much at this point. So like, you know, it's part of it's just part of what you do. Like we're all just people. We're all just doing what we got to do, you know?
You got a point. I've done, I don't do production because I'm in the military, but I
Hmm.
know people who have done the adult stuff. I did a lot of vanilla stuff as a full-time actor. And we
Hmm.
did a scene where in a club, I had to be with a girl and flirt with her. And that was the
Hmm.
job, to be with her and just flirt with her. I had a potential girlfriend who didn't like the fact that I was with another girl on camera. And I said, look, I'm not doing porn. This is a character. Okay. And she's like, well, if you ever kiss this girl, it's over between you and I. Well, she packed the stuff and she split. Fine by me. However, this chick was not someone I was attracted to, but we ended up being just, I guess, say just friends or acquaintances. She emailed me saying, if you want to be
Hmm.
more than friends, we can be more than friends. I was like, no, 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 honey. That was just an act. That was just, you're nowhere near my type. I wouldn't go out with you paid before. But they paid me on camera. So I did it. But I think I did it to the point where she was like, I like you. I'm like, great. So it can happen. And that brings me to another
Hmm.
point. After you've done production with certain people, do you still keep in touch with a handful of people? I mean, or do you work with them again? I notice in film, some people have different productions, but they have the same persons, people, whatever. It keeps it kind of going, keeps it consistent, keeps it that continuity. So do you talk to people you've done stuff with and keep in touch with them?
So the majority of my work is still, I mean, like I'm still very new to like production. So I mean, yes, I've worked with the same people like a lot. And then like in full service, I also do like, I mean, I work with the same people as well. I mean, it's you know, how you keep safe and how you keep you know who you have good chemistry with, and you know who's like gonna show up, and you know who's gonna be professional, you know who's gonna like get the job done, and like
Sure.
you know who's hot, you know who is gonna like bring it when you need them to. So, you know, that's you know, I like working with the same people, you know, because I feel like it's hard to capture chemistry like the very first time you're with anybody, like in any situation, you know, like, you know, really like
I
getting it
don't
all
know.
down. Like, and I mean, you can, but I mean, once you know each other a little bit better, like you don't have to be like married.
True.
It's a little, yeah.
No,
But
you're
like, I
right.
mean, you
'Cause
know, once you know somebody a little bit better, like you know them a little bit better, and you know what to
that's
do
right.
and how to do it. So
Well, there are a lot of married people who can't stand each other, so that's not always a ticket. Trust me, I know married
yeah.
people that they just can't do it. And people say that you're married, you should. Well, it's not always the case, but you always will find a click with somebody who can bring it. And sometimes on the first time, people believe in love at first sight. It can happen, or
Hmm.
off the bat, you're going to be long-term friends if you spend more time with each other. And it becomes the point where you have the timing, you've got the scripts if you have them, you got their personality, what to expect if you say or do something, and that makes that chemistry that people feed off of. So whether it be this kind of
Hmm.
production or not, it does make for good footage. So going forward, people can note that stuff. Being new, you're figuring it out as you're going on. So let me throw this at you also. When do you think that you would be like your own producer? Like, will you do your own content or will you still work with big companies? Some people kind of do both. But from what I'm told, the money is if you are the one who's doing it yourself, if you are self managed or doing your own production, because you call the shots that way.
Yeah, I feel like that's not where I shine. That's not like, you know, I'm the talent. Like I'm not a production person. I'm not somebody that wants to sit down and edit. I'm not, you know, I'm not, and I just I know that about myself. Like and not just like in this industry, you know. I mean, I've you know been in, you know, the
Hmm.
performance, you know, arts
Okay.
my whole life. So like I know where I'm good, and I know where like I'm not good. And I
Okay.
know where like you know, and I'm not ashamed to be like, look, this is your, like, I'm not going to do that because I'm bad at it. And so like the like the technical stuff that's not where
Yeah.
that's
Well,
not where I'm gonna be great,
in today's
like,
world, people do have the ability to get the technical stuff cheap. I mean, they can edit like crazy. They edit on phones, they edit on laptops,
mhm,
obviously. And a lot of productions just one camera angle. They just put a camera there and just let it roll. But there's an audience for that. Again,
sure.
there's an audience for that. There's people who say, I'll take the bare minimum. There's production that's really dark. You can't see penetration sometimes. It's a side angle. There's just so many ways of doing this. So you pick what you think works for you, of course, and you kind of go with it. So there you go. So what would be the ideal scene to shoot? Everybody has their favorite thing they like to shoot. What would be an ideal scene that you just find enjoyment with?
Well, I mean,
Come
we've
on.
talked about my royal status, right?
That's right. Her Highness is going to talk about her royal status. Everybody
My royal
down
status.
to the Queen.
And
Okay.
so I am known for my I guess behind the scenes skills. So I'm known as the anal queen of Chicago.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
By the way,
And that it is not something that I dubbed myself. I actually found out that was like like I had a friend who was like, yeah, so when I first like saw you and we were at this meet and greet where we mingle with like potential clients and other like
sure.
workers, and she's like, yeah, somebody pointed you out, and she was like, that's the anal queen of Chicago, and I was like, wait, I have like a reputation for that? Okay, great. Like,
If it works, it works. You know what?
yeah,
Part of National Sex Day is we do own National Oral Sex Day and National Anal Sex Day. Yet those are holidays too. It's on the calendar. Too graphic to put out there because some places wouldn't highlight that, but we've got them. So when Anal Sex Day comes around, I just may have to ring your bell and get your thoughts on it.
absolutely,
There's only one in the world,
absolutely.
and I have.
I
Mhm.
regional royalty.
Hey, it's for sale, by the way. No, I'm a businessman. You give me money, you can buy whatever it is from me. Enough money will get people to do a lot of things they never would do in the first place. Henceforth, we have a lot of paid actors out there doing porn.
I mean, people that wouldn't normally do it pay me to do it. So they're just like, now I want to do it and I want to pay you to help me do it. So
There you go.
it,
There you go. Well, I tell
I
you,
get a lot of like, I would never. And I'm like,
yeah,
okay, like this is between you and me. Like, I'm not telling anybody, and you've never, but you love it. So come back,
everybody,
you know?
everybody on this planet's got a wild side to some capacity, and it may
Oh
not
yeah.
be extreme to you what they consider wild, but I'm telling you, everybody's got that fantasy, or I wanted to do this because I've always thought about that. I can't even tell you how many times I would like to say that on this production. But again, I work in radio and I'm part-time military, so a lot of things I can't tell you. But off camera, honey, watch out. Here it comes.
Yeah, people will ask me like, what's the weirdest thing somebody will ever ask you to do? I'm like, nothing's weird. There's no weird, like there's no weird, like there's no weird stuff anymore. Like there's not. Like I'm like, I don't know what's considered weird. Like everybody's got something, and there's no weird stuff.
That's what I'm saying. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
You capped that off right there, man, and right on time too, because we're at our mark right now. So perfect timing. We're all over. So the Queen EB, give us some of the links where we can find you, so people can find where your productions are.
Sure. I am on Model Red. You can find me listed there. I'm the only EB on Model Red. That's my agency. And then I'm on Twitter as EB, and my last name is Cotenord, which is Cotenord. Um, and then my website is ebcotenord.com. And then I'm also a writer. Like, I don't know if you care that like I'm literate or not, but if you are interested in the fact that I write, it's ebcotenord.online. And so that's where you can find me.
That's where you can find it. Big shout out to Model Red and all the people working behind the scenes with National Sex Day, making it what it is. All the people who are helping with the new website and getting it going, because it takes a team of people to do a lot of things anyway. And I got a real good team behind me. Thanks for them for finding EB, who is just knocking it out of the park. And looking forward to talking to her and working with her as we are moving forward. Remember, National Sex Day is the 9th of June. So you know what? 6 month, 9th day, holiday 69. It is sexdays.org
And my birthday.
and her birthday. I would like to see if she wants to blow up
Birthday.
my birthday candle. So you know what? Gotta give it to her on the day she was born. She looks great for 27. She really does. So just keep hanging in there, keep being the beautiful woman that you are. Check out National Sex Day on Twitter. Check us out also on FetLife. And you can email us, talk to us, and we're looking forward to having you guys next month. I'm dating the show because it's before the actual holiday. The first annual will be next month on the 9th. We thank everybody. We'll see you guys next time.